In the cold, gray streets of 19th century St. Petersburg, a man walked who would forever change how humanity understands itself. Fyodor Dostoevsky was not just a novelist. He was a philosopher, a psychologist, a prophet, and a spiritual revolutionary who anticipated the greatest discoveries of the 20th century. Long before Freud explored the unconscious mind, Dostoevsky had already mapped its darkest territories. Decades before existentialists declared that existence precedes essence, Dostoevsky had dramatized this truth through unforgettable characters. And years before totalitarian regimes arose to terrorize the world, Dostoevsky had predicted exactly how they would operate and why they would appeal to millions. What you are about to hear is an exploration of every major philosophical idea this genius ever developed. This is not mere literature we are discussing. These novels and stories contain some of the most profound insights into human nature ever written. They explore the deepest questions that have haunted humanity since the beginning of time. Why do we suffer? What does it mean to be truly free? How can we find meaning in a seemingly meaningless universe? What is the real relationship between good and evil? Can human beings ever create a perfect society? And of course, does God exist? If so, how can we explain the suffering of the innocent? Dostoevsky didn't approach these questions like an abstract philosopher sitting in an ivory tower elideth them. He endured some of the most traumatic experiences imaginable. As a young man, he was arrested for revolutionary activities and sentenced to death by firing squad. At the last possible moment, standing blindfolded before the guns, a messenger arrived with news that his sentence had been commuted to hard labor in Siberia. He spent 4 years in a brutal prison camp, where he witnessed the absolute depths of human cruelty and degradation. He suffered from epilepsy his entire adult life. He battled a crippling gambling addiction. He lost beloved children. He lived in poverty for much of his life. He knew suffering intimately. And this is what gives his philosophical insights a power and authenticity that purely academic philosophers could never hope to achieve. He read voraciously in philosophy, theology, psychology, and political theory. He engaged with the greatest thinkers of his time and deeply understood the intellectual currents that were shaping the modern world. He saw where these ideas were leading, and he was horrified by what he saw.